Liverpool have agreed a deal to sign Federico Chiesa from Juventus for £10 million plus £2.5 million in add-ons, with the forward travelling to Merseyside for a medical. The 26-year-old Italy international operates mainly as a winger or a second striker, and if the deal is completed as expected, he will be Arne Slot's second signing as Liverpool manager, following Tuesday's €30 million capture of Georgi Mamardashvili from Valencia, subject to a work permit and international clearance being granted. The Georgia goalkeeper will formally move to Anfield from the Spanish club before the 2025-26 season. Former Chelsea star Tammy Abraham is reportedly close to joining Serie A side AC Milan from AS Roma. According to Fabrizio Romano, Paulo Fonseca's team is set for a swap deal with the Giallorossi, with Alexis Saelemaekers leaving the Rossoneri. The development comes after Abraham, who has been in the capital of Italy for the past 3 years, was unable to regain the confidence of his current manager and his abilities following a severe knee injury at the end of the 2022-23 season. Tottenham's pool of wingers Ange Postecoglou is spoiled for choice in the wide areas at the moment, with Son Heung-min, Timo Werner, Dejan Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson and Wilson Odobert seemingly battling it out for two positions. Academy starlet Mikey Moore is also an option, while Richarlison is no stranger to playing on the flanks, so a move for another winger seems unlikely, but there have been suggestions that Coman is on the Lily Whites wish list. Portugal fullback João Cancelo has signed for Saudi club Al Hilal from Premier League champions Manchester City. The two clubs announced on Tuesday the 30-year-old, who spent last season on loan at Barcelona, has penned a 3-year deal with the Saudi Pro League title holders. Advertisement. Cancelo joined Man City in 2019 from Juventus and was a key player in his first 3 seasons at the club, but he reportedly fell out with manager Pep Guardiola over his lack of playing time midway through the 2022-23 campaign and spent the rest of that season on loan at Bayern Munich. Cancelo won 3 Premier League titles, the FA Cup and League Cup at the Etihad Stadium. He also played 6 times in City's first victorious Champions League campaign in 2022-23. Cancelo is Al Hilal's first high-profile signing of the transfer window and joins Brazilian star Neymar and former Premier League players Kalidou Koulibaly, Ruben Neves and Aleksandar Mitrovic in Jorge Jesus' squad. Juventus have finalised the acquisition of Teun Koopmeiners from Atalanta. After 2 months of negotiations and back-and-forth discussions, Juventus sporting director Cristiano Gentili has successfully reached an agreement for the club's primary transfer target, identified long ago as a key player to enhance Saigo Motta's squad. Koopmeiners is set to join the Bianconeri. Over the years, Barcelona fans have strongly felt that the system in Spain is engineered against their team. The refereeing has been the major point of debate, with many feeling that decisions quite overtly go against Barcelona, and it is not entirely unwarranted either, not only in terms of VAR decisions and penalty kicks, but also in matters as small as the amount of extra time added to games. Barca have had to bear the brunt of some questionable officiating. Some referees seem to be highlighted more than others when it comes to the alleged bias against Barcelona. 3 biggest rivals conquered Barcelona's first 3 games of the new season on that front have been nothing short of sensational, considering the team's situation on multiple fronts. After all, they have not only overcome 3 great opponents, but also some of their biggest referee rivals on their league opener for the 2024-25 season. Flick's side face off against Valencia and Mestalla. The appointment of Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez as the referee only complicated matters for the team, but they pulled off a victory unperturbed, even winning a penalty on the night. Fast forward 7 days, they took to the field against Athletic Club at Montjuic with Jesus Gil Manzano as the match official. This Barcelona team is going about everything in the right way and showing they are a team to take seriously. No one expects perfection, and neither does Hansi Flick, and that's exactly why his team has taken 9 points from their first 3 games. None of the games were a tactical masterclass from start to finish. In each of them, they had to overcome moments of significant adversity when they were being outplayed. Dani Olmo and Lamine's hookup on the game winner was quite similar, but it should also be noted Flick will need to get his lineup and balance right. Manut and PSG have finally struck an agreement for Uruguay international midfielder Manuel Ugarte, with Football Transfers exclusively breaking the news on Tuesday. It's been a deal that's been a long time coming. United have been seeking cover in the heart of the midfield for several weeks, with Ugarte well established as their leading target. The 23-year-old Uruguay international is primed to sign, with a deal now only a matter of time. And it's a busy transfer day in Italy, as Kevin Danso has also landed in the capital to undergo medical tests with Roma. Austria international Danso is ready to join Roma from Lens on an initial loan deal with an obligation to buy. According to multiple Italian sources, the transfer package is worth €25 million. Danso landed in Rome shortly after Romelu Lukaku, who also arrived at San Pino on Wednesday morning to undergo medical tests with Napoli. Elsewhere, Juventus are prepared to welcome Tune Koopmeiners, who has arrived in Turin for a medical examination with the Bayern country. Juventus are still working on trimming their squad, so they are now set to part ways with 3 young defenders. According to Tuttosport buyer Il Bianconero, Alessandro Pio Rixio is all set to sign for Sampdoria on a permanent basis. The 22-year-old is a centre-back who joined the Bianconeri's youth ranks from a tender age, but aside from making a few appearances in friendly encounters under Max Allegri's watch, the Italian never managed to carve himself space with the senior team. Carlo Ancelotti is not worried about Kylian Mbappe's slow start at Real Madrid, insisting the French superstar is doing better every day and his adaptation is going really well. Carlo Ancelotti has firmly backed Kylian Mbappe's adaptation at Real Madrid. Mbappe did not score in the La Liga games against Mallorca and Real Valladolid. Mbappe, 25, joined the La Liga and Champions League winners as a free agent from Paris Germain in June, bringing an end to a transfer saga that had rumbled on for years, despite making a promising start by scoring on his debut to help Real earn a 2-0 win over Europa League champions Atalanta in the UEFA Super Cup final 2 weeks ago. Mbappe has yet to find the net in 2 La Liga games with Real and struggled in a draw at Mallorca and in a dire home win against Real Valladolid. Barcelona forward Ferran Torres is now seriously considering a move before the transfer deadline amid interest from Newcastle United, according to reports. The Magpies have made 5 signings so far this summer, with Lewis Hall, Odyssey's Vlachodimos, Wlostila, Lloyd Kelly and John Ruddy all completing moves to James Park, while Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minte are the 2 players who have left the club for fees over the summer. According to the report, the ex-Inter and Roma striker will undergo examinations on Wednesday, August 28. What will happen with Victor Osimhen remains to be seen. The Nigeria international hasn't been involved in any match by Antonio Conte, but the striker is unwilling to move to the Saudi Pro League. His agent reiterated on Monday that OC wants to continue playing in Europe. Osimhen has a €130 million clause in his Napoli contract, but with only a few days left before the end of the transfer window, RMC Sport claims that the Partenope will accept to sell their star striker for circa €70 million. On Tuesday, McTominay appeared to say goodbye at the Theatre of Dreams and was spotted leaving the ground for the last time. The midfielder exited with a wholesome parting gift handed to him by a fan. United supporter Sky regularly gives out bracelets to players, including the likes of Mason Mount and Luke Shaw, who was even spotted wearing it at Euro 2024. New signing Joshua Zirkzee got one recently, and so too did McTominay, who was delighted with the accessory too. Remember United, it's no way. Thank you very much, that's so sweet. I'm gonna put it on, McTominay said, before immediately placing the bracelet on his wrist and posing for a picture. Manchester United are not acting on the availability of Ben Chilwell, despite Chelsea raising the prospect of a deal in ongoing talks between the 2 clubs. Executives of both have been discussing whether they can resolve a number of squad issues with mutually beneficial deals, particularly the futures of Raheem Sterling, Jadon Sancho and Chilwell. The left-back had been proposed by Chelsea due to United's struggles in that area with Luke Shaw's injury record, but the Old Trafford hierarchy have decided to press on with their own options. It is understood the figures involved in any prospective deal, as one factor, were way apart. Inter Milan are on the verge of finalising a contract renewal with Dutch wing-back Denzel Dumfries, thanks in part to the financial benefits provided by Italy's Decreto Cressida. The club is confident that the new agreement will prevent Dumfries from leaving on a free transfer. Liga giants Barcelona have on Wednesday announced the severity of the injury suffered by midfielder Marc Bernal, and the news will mark a heavy blow for all associated with the club. Bernal, for his part, was forced into a premature departure from Barcelona's La Liga meeting with Rayo Vallecano yesterday evening, as much came on to an unfortunate collision with Rayo's Issy Palazan inside the game's closing moments. The 17-year-old was helped from the Vallecas pitch by the visitors' medical staff, unable to put any weight on his left leg as he made his way down the tunnel post-match. Ensuing reports quickly pointed towards Bernal having picked up a serious injury, which would rule him out for the long term. And unfortunately for club and player alike, precisely as much has this afternoon been confirmed. Tests carried out on Wednesday have shown that the player Marc Bernal has a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee and an associated injury to the lateral meniscus. He left Tottenham for Celtic and has opened up on the decision. The Celtic player insists he wouldn't change his decision to leave Tottenham for Parkhead as he joins a Scottish Championship club on loan. Toby Oluwemi joined Celtic in 2021 from Spurs and has since had loans at Cork City and at Mira Wacker. An England youth international, he now joins Dunfermline Athletic on loan. He will compete with Dennis Mamet for the Gloves in the Scottish second tier. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen is reportedly considering a new offer from Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly. Despite recent advances from Premier League outfit Chelsea, Osimhen receives a new offer from Saudi Arabia. According to reports from Sky Sport Italia, Al Ahly have presented a second offer to the Nigerian centre forward. Though the specific terms remain undisclosed, Sky suggests that the offer is highly lucrative. Reports over the weekend suggested that Al Ahly were prepared to offer Napoli €70 million to sign Osimhen, almost half of the €130 million release clause in his contract. Manchester United have reportedly held discussions with Brentford over a possible deal for Ivan Toney in the closing stages of the summer transfer window. Toney continues to be linked with a switch to Saudi Arabia, but Chelsea are believed to be firmly in the race for the England international, with the Blues thought to be determined to beat Al Ahly to his signature. According to the London Evening Standard, there is also interest from Man United, with the Red Devils exploring the possibility of signing the Brentford striker before Friday's deadline. The report claims that there have been preliminary conversations between Man United and Brentford over a move for the Englishman, but Chelsea are still leading the English interest. The 28-year-old has not featured for Brentford in the early stages of the 2024-25 Premier League season due to the speculation surrounding his future.